What I'm saying to you is all of us are in a process, all of us except for maybe Tesba, who maybe knew that he was a Moor from the 90% of us came from that black place.
You gotta
right? So you can't ever, I think, you can't ever forget that, I don't think, or you shouldn't forget that in terms of dealing with people.
I gotta be honest with you, since you put me into it, I'd like to say something.
Oh boy. Even if I didn't bring you into this, you would have.
No, since you brought it into me, I remember one day I was walking with my mother. Somebody hollered out the window and said, "Niggers, go back where you came from." And I said to Mom, "Where did we come from?" And I didn't even know, that nigger shit didn't bother me because I'm not even dealing with that.
Yeah, but what
You
I'm
see what I
saying
mean?
is we have all at one time in
No.
our modern lives
No, I'm not talking about.
been around
he said,
black, accepted black, and come to know ourselves as that.
He put me on the spot by bringing me into it. No. And then James Brown, that's when I started thinking about black and all that stuff. But when I was young, that wasn't even on my mind. I was no different than this animal right here, living free.
Well, of course you were though, right?
Climbing trees looking for robin eggs that look blue. Not worrying about what people thought they were, because I didn't even know people were calling themselves colors.
Well, and you make a beautiful, but you watch it. You bring up a beautiful point to that 90% of us don't even know of any of that until we are programmed from that, and that's where we understand all of that comes from, all of that stuff. So I think what we're in a process of right now is trying to bring ourselves back to that enlightenment. I think, right, and we're doing it from the fact that the prophet came 100 and whatever years ago, started the fires. A whole set of us were there, died out, and I think this is that process coming back again.
You know why?
And that's where, it's interesting, because when you mentioned Jesus, I realized that he was here 2,000 years ago, and that was the last age changing of the age. Right? So
It's not a coincidence.
So you now, so to me, what I'm thinking is that these jumps, we are at a very, very important juncture of time. And we are I think you talked about this too. This isn't the first time our essences have been here. And our levels of awareness, there's a reason why we're sitting at this table.
We have the levels of awareness, yeah.
And energy is perpetual. It doesn't dissipate. Right. Energy is, when you understand that, then you understand that, well, when they say he's an old soul, well, there's truth to that. Mm-hmm. Why does a little 5-year-old child act more mature or more aware than how do you explain that?
And this gets back to the whole issue again of the uniqueness of the Moorish movement, because we're Muslims, and Muslims, as I say Muslims, who recognize that reincarnation is a part of our existence, but it's not part of traditional al-Islam.
That's right.
Yet we still give honor to all the prophets, including the Prophet Muhammad, who is associated with al-Islam and Sunni and Shia traditions, right? We also have a tradition which is placing a great deal of emphasis upon our nationality, because we see that as a part of who we are. We have to present ourselves to the world as Moors. We can't accept other labels, because if someone else defines you, essentially they have created you. Mm-hmm. If you accept someone else's definition, you are then their creation.
Yes.
So when people are made in America blacks, we weren't calling ourselves blacks.
That was the process that they've used.
Exactly.
And the process to get back to that was nationalization.
Right, to take us out of our mind.
In any way they could.
And I have a good friend, brother, who tried to argue with me over the idea that Moor simply translates as black. And I said, Moor does not simply translate as black any more than Asian or Japanese translates as yellow.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let's put this into context. He said, well, no, Moor means, I had a Spanish professor or high school teacher who taught us that Moor meant living black. Mm-hmm. I said living black, so you have to qualify black by putting living in front of it.
That should let you know something,
exactly. Yeah. It doesn't. I said you may say that it's a reference to someone who was dark complexioned or black skinned, if you want to put it in terms of how you find it then being used by the Greeks and Romans, and they use the term mavros and then mores. Mm-hmm. I said, but it does not translate as black.
That's right.
Because a black in the English language, right, means something dead.
Yes.
It means something evil, something negative.
Yes.
And I said, I said, brother, let me ask you something. Why do you feel that you and so many of us have to be so wedded to holding that term black as a reference? Mm-hmm. I said, Asians, if they're Indian or Japanese, they don't emphasize yellow. They don't say they're yellow Americans.
They don't emphasize.
They don't say that, right?
And let's be honest too, and just to interrupt you there. My girlfriend, she's
really
Japanese or from Nihonj. That label that you put on that's westernized, that ain't even their label. They go home and they got another name for themselves.
Yeah.
They ain't Japanese. They're Nihonj and they're TNE and they're whatever. So we're the only ones who have allowed ourselves to go down that other route. They've layered themselves the other way.
Well, see, the thing is, we didn't allow ourselves to go that way.
We got taught like
We got led
pets.
astray.
Right.
Right now, like I was telling Sheik last night, I've been to Europe 4 times. Right? I never once got called black, and over an accumulation of 2 months. I
What parts of
spent
Europe? Where were you at?
Germany, France. You know, I've been all over Germany practically. It seems like the only city that I haven't touched in Germany was Berlin. But I've been all over Germany, all around France, and through all of that time, nobody knows. She was there with me for 15 days. You won't get called black. And the thing about it is this: you'll never hear nobody over there refer to themselves as white. They'll say I'm Spaniard. They'll say I'm Italian.
They
They'll
talk
say
about
I'm
nationality.
That's right.
right? So the color code system that we got from Francois Bernet and Johann Frederick Blumenbach and all of these guys, it exists here. It lives here. Although they were Europeans over there,
That's right.
it exists and it only thrives here.
That's right.
But that's why I was tying that into you with the Palestinians and Israelis. This really, we're under attack here. We're really living in colonization. That's what's really
But
going
why
on.
are
But
we-
we don't even know that. That's how far down we are.
I mean, when you look at, when you look at all of the, all of the signs. I mean, they've been making movies. President's been talking about this for, more than 30 years. And, I'm in my 40s, so I can't reference 50 years ago. But all of the signs, even when you talk about the translation of living black, yeah? Well, hold on a second. The Walking Dead, and zombies, and so it's not a coincidence. Still, that psychological warfare exists because you're preparing people to think about one thing or perceive something one way, and that means when you're presented with the truth, well, oh yeah, I heard about that stuff before. That's
They disconnect.
they disassociate it or they dismiss it, regardless of how true it might be. They dismiss it because, well, yeah, I heard that's cult, that's this, that's that. Just like, oh, they're black, they're colored, they're nigger. They got to be something other than what they are. The system is, I need to call you something, otherwise I need to recognize you as
Who you are, yeah.
Okay.
so. And as we were having this discussion last night in bed, those terms, black and all that, this is the Western society is the only place you hear that.
Okay.
You can't even call it African. If you say oh, my African brother, no, I am from Nigeria.
Yeah.
I'm from this, and they will tell you I'm not African.
No, but watch this though. Why is that?
Why is what? Why they won't allow that?
No. Why is that what we're talking about? Why they're only here on this
Because-
side of the
because
Great
we
Lakes
don't-
and the other side of the Great Lakes they're calling black, white, colorable law and all that.
That's exactly what I told you, which is that they're
It was necessary.
to colonize
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
segment of people
But why?
because we were at war with them.
Why?
You tell me.
Are you serious?
No, well, we're being recorded,
No,
right?
but I'm
I'm
asking you, are you
serious.
serious?
I'm always serious.
So
now,
you-
okay, go ahead.
So you asked why?
I'm saying why? Because nobody was really getting to why, if this is going to be recorded. We're talking all this black, white, what they've been doing, like what you said, everybody hears it.
Right.
But when it comes right down to the main reason why, this is the wealthiest part of the globe, North America here.
It's not even
not.
close.
This is why everybody's coming here.
No, it's
No.
not. When you talk
It's a construct.
when you talk opportunity, opportunity is great on this land, right? But everything that you have by way of that video camera, your cell phone, your TV, your radio, it needs an electrical capacitor, right? And that electrical capacitor comes from what? Titanium. Where's titanium? In Zaire, right? In the Congo,
Yes.
right? That's it. Solely right there, right? Now, you're talking about the colonization here, what they did to us here, right? Where is the highest concentration of HIV and AIDS on the planet? Zaire and in the Congo.
South Asia.
That's right.
No, not South Asia. Zaire and the Congo, where those electrical capacitors are. Why? Because they need it. They said we can do without the people. We need the resources. Not in the United States, not in Canada, not in North America, Central America, South America, Africa. The
And that's why
continent.
the atrocities are, you know, you can talk about, you know, like, we're very privileged. The atrocities over there, oh, you can't even speak about it because you can't imagine. We cannot imagine
Yeah, what's going on there?
people being hacked to pieces just for being alive.
Even better.
And being hacked to pieces by their own, with an agenda because they're, you know, motivated by, you know, and motivated by. But it's really to get rid of them. Well, if you're not going to give it up, well, we got to get rid of you. We got to kill you. We got to, you know. So when you look on the so-called news, which is controlled, and see, oh, this one is, you know, Saddam was arrested for war crimes. He had weapons of mass destruction. Well, nobody stops to talk about at that time he was buddies with Bush. So if he got, and then why was he brought to the U.S. to stand trial for international crime? I can't figure it out.
Okay, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you have to look at the bigger picture. There's a lot more going on.
So you know in Circle 7 it talks about higher self and lower self,
Yes.
right? We talked about this last night. Some people are consumed
Yes.
by fiat, right? Their world revolves around
Yes.
it, right? This is my third time coming here for Jubilee Day, right? I never asked them one time for a ticket.
Yep.
I never asked them one time for compensation.
Yep.
I never asked them for anything. When they say, come to Canaanland, we got this going on, I come, right? And even when I'm on that end of the Great Lakes, right, I don't receive anything for anything. I do what I do on the strength.
Yes.
I do it from the gut. I do it from the heart, right? For my love of my people,
Yes.
for my love of people,
Yes.
for my love of these animals,
Yes.
right? So we can't say that we're chasing a gold mine because in a sense we are chasing a gold mine, and that gold mine is our
No,
inheritance.
but wait a minute. But
we're talking about the human condition.
No, but here's what.
Hold on.
No, and I want you to hold your point. But what? Okay, go ahead.
You got it.
The reason why I'm saying go ahead is because that's not, in my mind, that's not what was really triggering me. He was trying to say that somehow we were somehow involved.
No, he's not saying us in
He's
particular.
using a metaphoric reference when he says we.
Yeah, he's not talking about.
He's
you in
talking about
particular.
Moors.
He's talking about us,
Right?
As a collective,
but,
right?
but we weren't talking about that. That's where when
I
he
said
started
on
to
this
say
side of
that.
the Great Lake and on the other side of the Great
But when he
Lake.
started to say that, I was taking inference from that he was talking about the fact that this is the collective, because that's not what's going on up here.
I never said that.
But you made that
I
as
said,
being, you made
I said
that as
gold
being.
fever like we're selling something. And why you felt like that? Because when I said something
keep-
about
but when
12
you keep
classes, you
saying
get
we.
this.
No, but you kept saying
If
we.
you, if you don't do this, if you don't jump through hoops and dances.
That's what you kept saying, but we've
I'm
never.
saying, if I want a nationality card, why do I got to go through all kinds of shit to get a
Because
nationality
and you want the answer now to that?
Yeah.
Because you need to be of a certain level in my mind, of understanding, of knowledge,
Yeah.
to actually then engage in that, especially in the light of what we're involved in
Okay.
right now, which is colonization. So giving someone
But what's
that.
this?
Otherwise, what's the point?
Okay, now-
Because
okay.
wait a minute, you
Yeah.
are right, on a free and
It's theirs
on
anyway.
a free playing
And guess
field.
what? They don't even have to talk about it because the numbers
But
speak
here,
for itself.
no, but listen,
The numbers on that card speak for
Tallahassee,
itself.
though, one of the things too that I think you should.
Like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
but
no,
these
here's what I'm
numbers
saying though.
speak
I
for
think
numbers.
that part of it too should be discourse. Like when I say something, listen. When you say something, I'm listening, right? So my point being is that if we're all on an equal playing field, each one of us should have a nationality. But what we realize is that we have been denationalized, and there's been a process of that. So we're trying to negate that process. We're trying to overcome that process. And exactly what you're saying is people are seeing the freeing of a people. They're seeing that as a gold mine. Though you're talking about a different gold mine, which is the gold mine that's really there for us once we claim our stuff. But what we're saying is that on this stage, what I'm saying is that on this stage that we're at, that we're involved with a set of people or an organized force that is looking to denationalize us and enslave us. And so that what has to happen is for you to then get your nationality back in this case, I think it's going to take you being at a certain level of competency, which is what they talked about. And that's what they were saying to you ultimately, that once you could start proving that you were competent, that's when they were going to give you back your stuff.